go outside. That's basically going to be a bare frame. And we're going to walk you through the whole process of how we build it, how we assemble it, how we put it together. When we send it out to paint, we bring it back in. We're going to go through every step. That way you can tell exactly how your DRV is being built.
3, 2, 1, action.
So this is where all of our chassis come in. This is going to be starting point number 1. From here, your chassis are going to be rolled into the first bay. We're going to start assembling flooring. We're going to start doing suspension, and obviously we'll make our way that way. But over here, what we got is a chassis for a 41 RK, so you can get a real good idea of the 6.2, 6.2, 3.2 that makes up our 15-inch triple stack chassis.
Okay.
The other thing that's unique about our upper decks, we are the industry's only full steel upper deck.
Oh, really?
Yes, so all 4 sides of your storage compartment, as you can see, you're all surrounded by steel. Your cross members that connect side to side, door side to off door side, steel as well. Okay. A lot of our counterparts, this is going to be aluminum.
Okay.
This will actually be non-existent. Their chassis will come here, it'll drop down, it'll come up, comes here and comes there. That's why they got a lot of flex back in the day.
Okay.
In the 90s and the early 2000s, you were getting a lot of flex out of your chassis. That's why. We triangulated this. We've now made this actually one of the stoutest points of our chassis. We don't have to worry about that flexing anymore, that torsional this way or this way. Okay. That eliminates all of that. It also gives you what? Largest storage compartment in the industry, and it allows us to put our tanks in locations where other manufacturers don't. Meaning, I don't put my fresh tank right here.
Okay.
Our fresh tank sits back here.
Okay.
So you're actually going to put the weight where? Not as far forward on the unit.
Right.
Bingo, mid-coach, just ahead of the axle. Give you an idea. So on all of our 43s, all of our triple axles, and all of our full houses, it's all going to be a quarter wall steel chassis, okay? A linear foot of this is just over 30 pounds. A linear foot of a 12-inch competitor's I-beam is 10.8 to 12 pounds. That's where a lot of our weight comes in, but now center of gravity's lower. But I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter what you outfit inside of the unit. That does not determine the longevity of the unit. This is where it all starts. Powder coating. We spend a lot of money to have these frames powder coated. If you want to come in here and look at the inside, they take the time to spray these areas. There are a lot of coaches that come in this industry rusty. But it's tough out here. You know, you build these in Indiana, you get this climate up here, we've got to roll them to paint, we've got to roll them back, we've got to roll them down from transport down to your location. They're going to get some salt, they're going to get some nasty, they're going to get some road debris. So we're doing everything we can to protect your investment from the get-go.
And we appreciate it.
It is, it's nice. So it'll be an 8K setup or an 8.4. These are going to be a 9K.
Okay.
We use the 8Ks on our triple axles, we use the 8.4s on our 36s and a couple of our 38s. And then everything else exclusively goes to the 9K axle. So, Kodiak disc brake package, rotor, brake pads. We can get it on an automotive parts store. It is not an Elkhart-based product. Okay. This is actually kind of a retrofit of what was a similar braking system on about a 2000 model GM pickup. You can call Moride and or Kodiak, and they can ship you parts. Or if you get the part numbers, you can go to an automotive parts store, and they've got knockoff pads and knockoff rotors that we can use for the application in case we need a part on a Saturday or a Sunday. We're not waiting till Monday to call Elkhart.
Okay.
So very nice to have on your coach. Okay. And that's across the board. So whether it's a Dexter or whether it's a Moride, still going to be a Kodiak disc brake system. Everything's going to roll on the same tire. We use a different rim for the full house, different color rim than what we use for the mobile suite. It's still a high-spec rim. A couple things to note about the tires: 4,900 pounds carrying capacity on the rim, 4,805 pounds carrying capacity on the tire. You multiply that by 4 or 6, depending on if you've got a tandem or a triple axle. We never have to worry about superseding what? The tire rating. Yet again, tire failures. Pretty rare.
Pretty rare. It's usually underinflated tires.
Yep.
So,
It can happen to anybody.
it can, but it's a great package. It's treated us extremely well. You go out and buy it on the marketplace, it's almost a $600–700 setup. So we're spending the money where we need to. The other nice thing, they're either made in America or they're made in Germany. We don't buy any Goodyears that are made in China. So we call this Station 1. As we saw, a gentleman just rolled the frame in. So obviously we need to start the floor structure. You'll notice right behind me, we've got our floor jig set up. We've actually got the floor right here that they've already built that we're gonna mate to this unit right here. Couple things unique about your DRV suite, we implement the heat ducts into the floor structure, as you can see right here. That's vital during that winter time. We want you to have warm feet, and we want that floor and that subfloor to be nice and toasty. We're one of the only ones in the industry that ducts our furnace like that. 6-inch duct versus 4. Most of your industry standard is going to be a 4-inch duct. We jump to a 6-inch duct times 2. These two, you can see flooring's been installed. Got the hydraulics already rolling. Got the water system started up. Furnace system. Got the tank set. Feel that.
That's some heavy duty stuff.
That's some heavy duty stuff. Oh yeah. And it's Shaw. I mean, we just saw them unbox 12 boxes of Shaw flooring. This is their last stop. It's called an LVT. This is their last stop before a ceramic tile in their home good. So this is yet again residential material we're implementing into your unit, not RV style material. Plywood. Everything we use wood-wise is going to be plywood. Whether it's a 1/2-inch deck, whether it's a 5/8, that's going to be in your full houses as well. When the rest of the industry in a toy hauler, I'm the only insulated box. So your MX450. See how this is an insulated floor? It'll be insulated all the way to the dovetail on your unit. The only place I don't insulate is going to be around your fuel tank. But everywhere else, now you add up 3 1/4-inch wall, you add the fact that we insulate that floor structure. That back room is not going to be a hot box or a cold box. It's going to react more so with the rest of the unit, which is what a lot of our competitors don't offer. We talk to customers all the time that say, my kids are back there during the winter and they freeze, or they're back there during the summer and they sweat. We've eliminated that. So we want you to be comfortable in your new DRV. Insulation, high density spun wool, formaldehyde and fiberglass free. It's called EcoBat. You can go buy it at Home Depot and put this in your house. We simply choose to implement it and put it into our coach. That's the only insulation we use in the unit. Because I do not laminate my sidewall, because I use products like EcoBat, we are the certified greenest fifth wheel builder in the industry. So we care about your health and your safety as well. A lot of these coaches, you'll walk in during the summertime and your eyes burn. Where's that coming from? Coming from the flooring that they use. OSB contains about 30% glue, and it's going to be from the formaldehyde that they use when they laminate their sidewalls together. Because I'm a hung wall, because I don't use OSB, we don't have to worry about the burning of your eyes or walking in and getting those just uneasy feelings. Remember earlier how we saw the flashing? Right up underneath? It's located always above your tires. That's for blowouts. That's just to keep that from tearing that underbelly up.
Oh, okay.
So we just put that there just as added protection. Because those tires will do some damage. So the 6-point leveling system you see on all of our units, that was designed by us. Designed, tested, engineered, failed, tested, engineered, failed. This is a system we finally came to. The reason why is before this system, the only system on the market was Bigfoot. Familiar with Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Okay, Bigfoot had 4 jacks, 4 pumps, 4 buttons. You didn't know how much pressure you were putting on each jack leg. So Carriage used it for a long time and they were getting some frame failures because they didn't know how much pressure they were putting on their frame when they were lifting their unit up. Our idea behind our system was to have the first all hydraulic system where all the jacks level equally. So basically you have solenoids in there and it's all based off pressure. All 6 of these jack legs will do what I call dancing. They'll lift that coach in unison. This is the only coach you can lift off the ground indefinitely because the jacks can hold it. If you go by a Montana, you go by a Redwood, you go by any of our counterparts, they will tell you, do not raise the coach off the ground. The frame cannot handle it. Ours, if you want to get to where you're going, take majority of the weight off the tires, level it out, go for it. It's not going to do any harm. Each of the jacks are rated at 10,000 pounds. So we don't have to worry about running the system at near full capacity on any of our coaches. And they're all angled 5 degrees outward, just to give us that added stability during those storms, during the wind, but also when you're just moving fore and aft in the coach. Where we lag bolt everything. There's a piece of wood inside every one of those studs. So we don't just simply crush that whenever I lag bolt it down. Does that make sense? But if you look at this, this is clockwork like your house. Floor structure bolted to the chassis. Sidewall bolted to the floor structure. Stud every 16 inches. And remember, we screw and glue everything together. We do not weld it. We want it to flex. We want it to be able to move. So that's why we do what we do here. But I mean, you look at our headers, you know, there's some substantial, amount of aluminum that we use. The thickness of aluminum that we use to be able to screw in is going to be a little bit thicker than what our counterparts. Typically, you're going to have a 13 to a 15 gauge. We run an 11 gauge, so a little bit different than what your competitors see. If you notice, one thing about my window is we frame it in wood. We don't want that transfer of energy to go from the metal frame window to the stud. Everybody else, they're going to clamp their window to that aluminum opening. So they're going to get a transfer of hot or cold energy, and they're also going to get the transfer of what? Condensation into their unit. A lot of electric work. As you can see, a lot of plumbing work, interior. Here, we'll walk the next one. Long.
How long is that?
48 feet. Is that set? Okay. So, one of the things that I love about our process, all right? What do you see right here? It's just one piece of glass.
I got it. You give me one.
Every hole now that I router, that glass for that slide out goes back behind it to my slide shop. I'm not cutting a piece of glass in this factory, hoping I frame it to the exact opening in this factory and then mating the two together, which is how a lot of the industry does it. That is a much more exact process to put that up against that hole, router it out, and then simply take it to your slide shop and make the back of your slide out of it. It's clean. Remember, our slides go inside of the sidewall. So we've got to make sure that that hole is straight and clean. Otherwise, you start getting off even a little bit on a slide that big, it's never going to go in. Obviously, that's going to be our main electric point right here. So we can kind of see the junction boxes, everything coming in. Obviously, next stage over. inverters going in. Once that's all done, then we can insulate that sidewall now. So remember, just like your house, everything's run inside. Remember the grommets we spoke of? Remember how earlier we spoke, you can either laminate or you can do a hung wall. That's the process. This is as close as you can get to replicating building your house.
Very cool. Slides are built piecemeal in-house.
Right here, you see it.
Okay.
And then we made them to the glass that we cut. There's a piece of glass right there waiting to go on the back side of a slide. And then goes to the next station. And we'll go down there, and then we hang the slide in the coach. Cool thing about our slide boxes, when we build them, we put all the cabinetry in. We put we put the fridge in. And then we lift it in with a forklift. It's pretty eye-opening once we get down to that station.
So it goes in with a forklift rather than
Yeah, we lift it in with a forklift. They just walk it in, and they hook it up and set it. But some really good footage. Guys, that takes a lot of time. We could just simply cut a hole like everybody else, run that sucker through, maybe braze a wire along the way. That's just not who we are. We've been doing this since day one. It treats us well. You build it, you insulate it, you put the back side on it, put it in the coat, and go about your business. If you ever need to take it apart, pull it out and just start undoing it. If you've ever tried to take apart anything laminated, you're never going to get it back right. This man can take apart pretty much any one of our things and put it just back together like we did. So can a lot of our other dealers. So it's nice to be able to have the flexibility to be able to maintain the coach or do service or do warranty work on it and not have to go through heck in a handbasket doing it. So, but the other thing too, I don't want mom in here charging her phone and dad's using something and the power flickers and I don't have enough juice running from A to B because we didn't use satisfactory wiring. I mean, we pride ourselves on being a home that's mobile. So we do everything that we can to make it a home. So basically we set these sides, door side first, move the unit down, set the off door side. And everything comes right in the middle. So I mean, now you can see just the flow of everything. Yeah, we've got the ability to do paint repairs in-house on all of our units. So everything comes back into here. This is going to be our Pdi Bay. This is going to be our after paint bay. This is going to be where essentially your final couple stations before this unit hits the road. Putting awnings on, sealing the unit, finalizing everything, make sure the paint's up to spec. If we're missing a cabinet door inside, we're missing an awning, what we'll do is we'll park the unit outside till we get the last part in, bring the unit back in, attach what we need to attach, and it's gonna hit the road to your local dealership or to you for pickup and delivery. This right here is hard to argue.
Yeah, it is.
For a toy hauler.
Well, they got a 38.
Just call it what it is.
They have a 38 RSSA now.
Yeah.
Which is why this.
Well, my whole, I pushed for this when we did it. You know, I said, there's a market for the golf cart and for the Harleys. And they want the livability.
smart card.
Smart, oh, we've got two of these that have been to Alaska and back.
Yep.
You know? We've had people turn it into an office.
Yep.
We've had a bunk room. We've done it where we've ripped out all the flooring. We've ripped out the wallboard. We put all wood cabinetry. We put the same flooring in the back.
Yep.
Remember earlier I spoke of insulated floor?
Yes.
So that's a big selling point for us in all the full houses. When you transition from here to the competitors, you step down. You're going from a structured floor that's insulated to a non-structured floor that's not insulated. You're going from 2.5-inch stud with plywood to 5/8 tongue and groove plywood that's just sitting on the frame rails. That's why this is a hot box or a cold box.
Right.
So I tell people all the time, with the fact that we do dual pane windows, the fact that we do a 3¼ inch wall so we don't get the hot or the cold transfer, put a heat pump back there and an air conditioner back there and it's dedicated, we've had great success with it. I always tell people we're not more expensive just because there's a deal in the front of our coach. there's a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of engineering that we've put into it. And it's our baby, you know what I mean? And yeah, we may, you know, we incur things here and there like every operation does, but we work through it. We make the best of it, and you know, I think at the end of the day, we build a good product, we treat care of our customers, and that's what it's all about. We're going to talk about our sidewall and what separates us from our counterparts. So we are 3 1/4 inch hung sidewall. We do a stud every 16 inches. As you can see down the coach, we are screwed and glued together. We do not weld a single piece of our construction. We want that to flex as you move up and down the road. As we go up and down in elevation, that coach is going to expand and contract. The most vital part of our sidewall, though, in this 3 1/4 inch offering is this 1/4 inch foam core vapor barrier right here. What this is going to do is it's going to do two things, or actually it's going to counteract two things that every RV wall is susceptible to: hot and cold transfer, condensation bleed through. When we talk about RVs and we walk in and maybe we smell must or mildew, a little bit of water, but we've never had a water leak. When it's hot outside and we're cooling this coach, that stud's going to form condensation. If there's nothing to prevent that condensation from transferring from the stud to the wallboard of your coach, what's going to happen? It's going to soak in that moisture into the wallboard, and eventually you're going to get delamination. This foam core vapor barrier right here, as you can see, now stops the hot transfer during the summer, the cold transfer during the winter. You combine that with the fact that the walls are 3 1/4 inch. Now it's much easier to keep your coach cool or warm, depending on the season.
All right, we want to thank Kyle Adams for taking his time to show us the DRV factory.
Right.
Kyle, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely, guys. More than happy to do it.
What a wonderful experience. What a wonderful product. And we've got some big things coming up with DRV, don't we?
Sure we do, absolutely.
So excited.
We're excited to see it. So we want to thank Kyle for his time and his effort, and we had a great time, and wait for the new stuff coming out. In the meantime, from Howe, Indiana,
It all starts with an idea.
thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.